so far.
Well, I'm a minute early.
I'm
I owe
still
you
eating.
some, Gail said I owe you some money.
Oh, I didn't send out a bill for January and February. I'm gonna do, or for Happy Dollars and all that stuff.
Right.
I will do that, in May when we get together.
About Judy's contribution.
We did.
You did not.
Oh,
Judy.
there's George.
Hey,
Hey,
George.
Chuck.
Chuck.
Hey, Georgie's
Rob.
and Robin.
Hey, but now, George, if you've got your money for Judy's,
Yeah, send it.
you can go ahead
Yeah.
and send it to the,
I'll send it to you.
yeah, the PO box.
Okay.
Separate check.
I'm gonna write him a note today. I think everybody that's going to has, so,
Do you want that written to the Rotary Club or?
yes,
Okay,
yes.
I'll do it as soon as we get off.
Did you happen to get did you know how many or how much we've been able to raise?
$1,275.
Awesome.
That's good. Did you get mine, Robin? I mailed it.
Foundation for what?
No to her.
No, not yet, but I haven't checked the mail since like Monday or Tuesday.
Oh, how is he gonna use it?
Okay, because I mailed it probably. Well, I might have mailed it on Monday, actually. So, okay, good.
Yeah.
Super.
I'll let him know, and then when everybody turns theirs in, I'll send it. I just have to do it by the end of May. For it to count.
Oh,
this
okay.
year.
If Bill joins us today, which I hope he does, then I'd like for us to let him know about that.
Okay,
Last week, I wanted that information. I meant to ask for that information. I wasn't expecting him on for some reason last week and caught me by surprise, but.
yeah, yeah, I didn't think he would be there. I just didn't say anything because I knew, I figured there was some more would come in, and it did this
Yeah.
week, so,
And there may be more even, so.
yeah. But I'll send him a card, or maybe I'll just do a letter and put the total on it and just list the names of the people that donated.
That'd be great. Did you count O'Neill Shelton's? Do you know if he's on that list?
I'll have to find my list. It's here somewhere.
He was wanting to send some, and I don't know if that's made it in or not. I need to reach out to him.
I haven't gotten anything from him.
Okay.
Oh.
He'll be sending some, so.
I'll get my glasses out.
Hello, Mr. Glover,
Good morning or good afternoon.
Miss Cindy, we already said hello to the Georges.
Yeah, thank you.
On my screen,
How
they're
are you?
side by side. I like that.
On mine, they're above and below each other.
Ah, okay.
That. Did anybody see that, the obituary for Judy was in the paper, but there was no service plans? Do we know anything about that?
There was an article or a little blurb in the paper about a celebration at the orchard, but not about a funeral service.
Yeah, I
so-
think it's May the 7th. I'm not sure. My next door
Oh,
neighbor
okay.
on the board, Bob Ammons. But he said also they're going to put up a plaque on the wall that'll be a year-long celebration of her life.
Oh, okay.
You know, lots of people haven't had actual funerals during COVID, so
Right, exactly.
some have and some
Hey,
haven't.
Alex. Alex, did you get kitchen cupboards? Did you pick out some?
Did I pick out what? What'd you
Kitchen
say?
cupboards?
Cupboards.
Kitchen cupboards,
Cabinet.
Oh,
kitchen
We're,
cupboards,
we're
cabinets.
looking and, haven't made our mind up yet, but Deb's going around looking everywhere and trying to pick countertops and all that stuff, but they're starting
was-
on the 3rd floor now. So ride by there and you'll see a lot of progress.
Nice.
I was gonna say Alex doesn't get to pick that stuff.
No, I've learned a long
Deb
time
does.
ago, it's smart. Whatever she picks, I usually like anyway, and I don't have the patience to go around and look at all that stuff.
That's a no-win situation. Absolutely.
It is. And she's got a friend building a house down there too, so they compare notes and go and go and go.
Oh, good.
But we got the front porch on now, so that's good too, that'll be covered.
Party down there.
Well, good. That's awesome. Anytime you think you'll get into it by the summer?
Oh, yeah, I think so. I think the roof will be up shortly.
Yeah, we got
And
party time planned out there, haven't we?
It will, and we even got a jet ski you can ride, Chuck.
Sweet.
I've got a little remote control. I can control the speed on it, and I'll put you on there and go wide open, me to go 65 miles an hour.
That'd be a hoot.
And they don't have any brakes either.
No. And the water is hard at 65 miles an hour.
Mhm.
That's so.
You go skipping over it like a stone. Hello, Dr. Marvin.
Everybody doing all right today?
Good.
We're good.
Alex, I think it's a little cold for a jet ski today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is. We don't have it in yet. It's sitting in the garage waiting for warm weather to put it in, because I think you get wet on those things. I've never ridden one.
Oh, you
Oh.
definitely get wet.
Well, you certainly don't need
Now,
to go
your boys
65
will
right
love
away.
that.
That's right.
Yeah.
Our son Jeremiah's getting one that'll do 85.
Mm,
And that's fast on water. That is
Boy, the-
fast.
yeah.
It's fast in
Yeah.
the car.
Your grandsons will have a ball with that.
I think so. And that's where we turn the governor on.
Yeah.
Hello, Nelson.
Hey, how we doing? What's up there, George? You made it in already, huh?
Yeah, from Virginia.
Oh, you're calling us from Virginia, George?
I'm in Fairfax, Virginia.
Oh,
Mm.
okay.
How
Did
was
Grand-
traffic, George? How was traffic?
Well, we came up 77 to 81 to 66. So we would be coming against the traffic at rush hour, but it was long. I think every tractor trailer rig in the southeast was on 81.
Yeah, and that's, that there's so many and they're going so fast. That's scary.
Yeah.
People's, maybe.
Hello. Go ahead. When we leave here, we're going back to Edisto, so we'll go 95, which I hate 95. Tears your car up worse than about anything.
I think it's 5557.
You ought to go down through Elizabeth City and see how things are going there. I think they've got problems.
That's what I need to see.
But you know, always stop at south of the border and get you something to drink on your way down.
Fireworks.
Get fireworks.
Yeah.
Yeah. As soon as you cross the state line, there's fireworks.
That's it.
Things I know when we go to Daniels, it's that way. As soon as you cross the state line, there's a great big
South of the border.
fireworks thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, a good car game is to count the south of the border signs.
Yeah. Nowadays, you don't have to play those car games to keep the the young ones entertained. They just look at their phone and the Game Boy and,
You're right. Unfortunately.
yeah. We used to have a bunch of fun travel games. Keep them,
Yeah, our kids miss out not getting to do that.
yeah.
That was half the fun of our vacations when I was little.
Yeah. Them good old days, Robin.
Yeah. And I am old.
That's even, Robin, when you didn't have air conditioning in the car.
Yep, kept them windows down.
Mhm.
Alex, did you ever count the See Ruby Falls signs?
Yeah, I think south of the border may have those beat, but most of those were on top of barns along with Rock City signs.
Yeah,
Yeah, Rock City
Yeah,
and
Rock
Ruby
City.
Falls.
And you can buy a Rock City birdhouse.
yeah. They're both actually pretty cool places.
Mhm.
You know, they say that Hawaii has a lot of tourism, but you know, I never saw an out of state license plate there the whole time I was there.
I didn't either.
You missed the bridge too, right?
I learned how much, George, it was to get a plane to go from one island to the other, though.
Oh yeah, that's brutal.
And a gallon of milk is like $6 or $8.
Oh, gosh.
They have to bring it all in,
Yeah.
ship it in. It's like places in the Caribbean are like that too. Groceries are really expensive.
It surprised me. We visited Turks and Caicos one time, and in the restaurant or in the grocery store, had a huge amount of half and half and cream. And they had milk, but there was more half and half and cream. And I asked about that, and they said it's because they hadn't had refrigeration that long, and milk or half and half and cream lasts longer than milk does. It doesn't spoil as fast. So everybody was used to that, and that's how they cooked, and that's what they cooked with, and
Wow.
I
didn't
didn't
have
know
as
that.
much milk.
No, they don't. That's one of my favorite places to go.
Yeah, it's been a while.
We've been there, yeah, it's been 3 years since we've been. We've been 3 times.
Yeah.
I love it.
Another thing about Hawaii, you don't have snakes.
Mm.
No snakes in Hawaii.
Well, now you're going to have to save it, Alex, because you can use that as our program today. Give us some history on Hawaiian Islands.
He was going to do a program. What was that about, Alex? Something.
Well, I've got one on the Hawaii volcanoes, and I've
Yeah, you did
given
that.
that to the club a long time ago.
Yeah. You
I
did it
remember
a
it. It
couple
was
years
good.
ago.
But there was
It's
a
when
recent
the-
one.
Oh, well, the one I'm going to do pretty soon for the club is earthquakes in North Carolina.
Yes,
That's
yeah.
the one I was trying to think
yeah.
of.
That'll be interesting.
And people will say, do I need earthquake insurance? I get that question 1,000 times. Answer is no.
So when are you going to do that? Today, I hope?
No, I think it's a day in May, isn't it? When am I scheduled? Where's our scheduling person?
Well, she's not on it.
You're not
right.
here today.
I think
I
it's when we return to actual
26.
meeting.
Yeah.
May 6th.
That's what
Yeah,
I
that's
think it
2
was.
weeks.
I think that's when it was too.
Mhm.
2 weeks from today.
I don't like doing the virtuals because you can't really see people, or it's when I do my show and tell items, it's hard to make sure. I can't tell if people are seeing them. It's just hard to do.
Mhm. Well, we're at the bewitching hour at 12:15. You want to Would you like to get us, well, you just took a bite. I was gonna say, Alex, you wanna, I'll let you finish, finish your
I
chew.
will.
And,
Okay, let's pray.
all right,
Lord, thank you for this day and thank you for all you do for us. And thank you for Judy Carson's life, who just graduated to your kingdom. And just thank you for this Rotary Club. And just we pray for our country and many things going on and the relief in the eventual ending as much as possible of the COVID. And we ask all these things in your name. Amen.
and
All right, do we have a flag?
Mhm.
we do. Nelson has it up.
Okay. I pledge
I
allegiance
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States
of America,
of America
And
and
to
to the republic
for which
for which
it
it
stands,
stands,
one
nation
nation,
under
under
God,
God,
indivisible,
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 with
with
liberty.
liberty
liberty
and
and
justice
justice
for
for
all.
thank you, thank you. Didn't mean to choke you up there, Alex. But you,
I ate a cheese stick went down wrong.
and having your good glass of milk. There you go. Goes good with the sandwich. Well, welcome everyone. Do we have any announcements today?
Well, I have a note from Eve Kimley that came like 2 weeks ago. And I just kept forgetting to bring it out and read it. So I'll read it today. It says, "Dear friends, thank you for having me at your March 18th meeting. Most importantly, thank you again for donating the wonderful shed in support of the Mitchell Giving Gardens project. It will prove so helpful as this effort continues to unfold. Please be sure to drop by the garden throughout the spring and summer to watch it transform. If you are interested in becoming more involved, I'm happy to share volunteer opportunities. Many, many thanks, Eve Kimley."
Very nice. And Floyd's not with us yet. Maybe he'll join in a minute. Maybe he can give us an update on the photo. When he gonna put the plaque up and see if we get a photo?
Yeah, Cindy was gonna take a picture.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
can do that as soon as Floyd tells me when the plaque's up.
It's
So,
up.
yeah,
Okay, you're gonna
it
take
is
a,
up.
It is up. I was there yesterday. I had a
Oh, okay.
haircut and the acupuncture appointment, and I had 30 minutes in between. So I went down there and walked around and did a lap.
And it is there. Okay,
It's
all
there.
right, well then I'll take care of that.
Looks good.
I have a couple things to talk about the barbecue festival, if we can do it now, or you want to wait for Floyd?
well, why don't we give a moment and see if he joins? He usually comes
Okay.
in about 12:30.
Okay, that works.
I've got another item, Chuck.
Yes, sir.
Follow up on the Rotary fundraiser for the YMCA. I'm trying to meet with Trey Oakley and Starley and others to set up the process on how we do this. But in response to that, I got a text back from Trey saying, this is good news. They've almost got $3 million pledged already.
Oh, wow. Wow.
How
3
much?
million. So
3
that's
million?
good.
Wow, that's great.
Yes, and I'm not sure if any of that can go toward the project planning and architecture or not, but he's meeting with Dogwood, the Dogwood Trust tomorrow. And so it looks like money is there and ready with almost $3 million already, and we hadn't even gotten started.
That's
Wonderful.
great.
That's
But I
good.
need to ask him too, at what point in time can we discuss it and try to start our part of the fundraiser?
Right. And Alex, when he was explaining, I've been meaning to ask somebody about this. I didn't quite understand the locations. I mean, so we got the Olympic sized swimming pool, and it was my understanding that they do that would be inside the facility that Malin is doing now. Is that correct?
No. If you remember in the parking lot where the old pool was that was
Okay.
torn out, right in that area against that retaining wall,
Gotcha.
which holds up the parking lot for the hotel.
Mhm.
That, where the old trailers used to be, the dormitory trailers were in the parking lot, that's where it'd be, and it'd be a totally separate building.
Oh, okay. And what about the rest of the Y? Is that where the rest of the whole thing, the pool and the Y would?
I'm not sure. That's where the planning, architecture comes in. I'm not sure either if the exercise rooms and the planning rooms are there, or if that's just the pool. But, of course, an Olympic sized pool, everybody knows that's a large building.
Yeah, yeah.
So I think it could be just, can't emphasize how good this would be for our community.
Yeah.
Now, part of that, because they're taking, that is such a big building, they're gonna take up a lot of that space. So where would the parking then be for the pool?
They've got quite a bit around back that nobody really much used before, between the Pine Bridge building and the river
Mhm.
and Riverside Park. And if you remember, there are about 3 tiers going up the road. And I imagine they'll use those for parking. And that's where some of the other trailers were too.
Right.
And we've utilized that parking for the festival
Mhm.
before. And when the Mineral and Gym used to be in Pine Bridge, we utilized all of that parking on all those tiers.
Yeah.
Is that state-owned land, Alex, that this is gonna be on?
No, yeah, all of that belongs to Malin. Remember, all the Pine Bridge facility was donated to Malin Community College.
Right, but I mean, isn't there some sort of covenant that they, that they're either owned or controlled by the state? Because I'm not sure that they're a legal entity, right?
I don't know, George. I've never heard that.
No.
I'm sure that's a question Trey could answer, but I thought YMCA's were an entity of their own.
Oh, yeah, no, the YMCA would be an entity. I was just wondering who's gonna own the property that all these improvements are going on.
Well, and I think your point's right. I think Malin would own it. Of course, the state owns Malin.
Well, except for the hotel, they have an advertisement for employees, and it plainly states that they will not be state employees. So I
Right.
don't know how
And
that
not Malin staff.
They're
somehow
supposed
is.
to, Robin, they're supposed to be private. Malin is contracting that out. And the
Oh, okay.
hotel will be run by a contract group. And what I've heard, it's going to be Gary Jensen.
It's gonna be who?
Gary Jensen that owns the Switzerland Inn.
Yeah,
Oh,
that'll
okay.
be good.
Good.
Well, he knows what he's doing, that's for sure.
Yes.
And they've done a lot. They're really refurbishing the inn. If none of you have been up there, they've redone the parking lot and the little stores across from the chalet, and they've spent a lot of money. George, you've seen that. And Nelson.
Yeah. Yeah, they're continuing. I saw some new concrete for the sidewalks up there.
And
They redid their septic system last year, and I heard it was to the tune of $500,000.
boy, there's a bunch of jokes right there, but we won't.
Down the drain.
Yeah. That's the clean one. That's a good one.
Keep in mind, this is being recorded.
That's right. That's right.
But I'll talk to Trey as soon as he has that meeting with Dogwood. And with the amount of money Dogwood has, it'd be awesome if they could complete that commitment that we for funds.
It's certainly within their charter,
Yeah.
the health and welfare of the communities, and this would be big toward the health and welfare.
Yeah, and Martha Tyner knows that. I don't know how many of you know Martha. She was my predecessor in the board chair at Blue Ridge. But Martha, I think, is on board with the Y project too, and she's on that board. She's, of course, lives in Burnsville.
And y'all were talking about the advertisement for the hotel employees. I haven't seen that, but what's their projected opening date? Is it this summer or this fall?
Um,
I think it's like in
It's
a
May
in a
for
couple
the
of
middle
weeks.
floor.
for 15
Yeah,
rooms.
it's May,
Yeah,
because they're gonna have 16 rooms ready. Yeah.
yeah. And the rest later, but yeah.
And all of those rooms, it's called the Three Peaks Project for Roan Mountain, Mount Mitchell, and Grandfather Mountain. But each room will have a theme name, like Linville Falls, like these are tourist destinations. Roan Mountain, Mount Mitchell, Grandfather Mountain, Linville Caverns.
Mm-hmm. That'll be nice. Oh, and that reminds me, Marvin, have you had any conversation lately with the Bear Observatory about maybe when they open up for the season?
I think they're opened up for the season, at least they were before these cold snaps, but I haven't heard from them, but I probably need to reach out to them to try to reschedule.
Yeah,
And with the restrictions loosening, maybe we can take more people now.
Yeah. Yeah, there was an ad in our state magazine this month for it.
I saw it. It was a good one.
I
It
didn't
looked
see
pretty
that.
cool, didn't it?
Yes.
I'm anxious to get out there.
So who all on the call here is interested? All right.
Dave and I for sure signed up.
Yeah, we might
Okay,
go.
so you're interested. I didn't see your hand. Robin, how about
Oh,
you?
me? There it
You
is.
are.
Yeah,
Okay,
I think
everybody
so.
on here is interested. Cool.
I've been there already, so I'll pass and leave room for somebody else.
So tell us about it, George.
Oh, it was early on, when it first started. It's really, it's a huge telescope. I mean, it's unbelievable. And the guy also has space like binoculars, really long distance binoculars. And he's got an infrared light that he can kind of like shine up, toward a constellation or a particular star and point it out to you. And then, you're either looking at it through two different telescopes or through the binoculars. So it's educational. I mean, as well as just pretty amazing to get planets that close up. That Saturn, you can see Saturn really well.
Mm.
Neat.
And if you happen to catch a night with the meteors, that'd be even better.
Yeah. Well, the space station going by.
Yeah. Was Mr. Bear one of the people that's there to do the demonstration? Is it other staff?
Yeah, it was his son.
Son, okay.
Yeah, his son actually is one of the ones that manages it, or has been like the caretaker. I don't know if that's changed since then, but that was when they first opened up. One of his sons was the guy in charge.
I was looking, on the Yancey County GIS map, and Mr. Bear owns quite a number of acres up in Yancey County, right above where I live. He's got about 2,000 acres up there.
Mm-hmm.
So quite the landowner.
Yeah, it's on the back side or the top of the mountain, Mountain Air.
Yeah.
And he's not in Mountain Air, but you don't have to go through Mountain Air, but that's the easiest way to get to his property is you go through Mountain Air.
Mm-hmm.
And so they allow that as part of his, he has that as an agreement with them. But there's also a backside, probably on where you are, there's a backside way up that's a little rougher to get up there. It's a huge house. I mean, huge. I don't know what it is, like 8,000 square feet or something. It's big, but boy, the view is just unbelievable.
I can imagine.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He said it was interesting. In all that track, there's a 15-acre slot that he didn't get. So there's one guy that held out and wouldn't sell his 15 acres, and he's landlocked with Bear's land all around him.
Yeah, but they have to provide him, ingress and egress.
Sure. Yeah, he's on the road.
Yeah.
It's on the road. It was interesting.
And they're good people. They're good neighbors, good people. And they live in town, you know, especially in the really brutal winter time. They live in town, just right downtown Burnsville.
Got a condo there in downtown Burnsville?
It's a house.
I was just joking.
Oh.
Yeah,
Actually, you know, there are condos in downtown Burnsville.
that's true. There are.
There's also low income housing in downtown Burnsville. Something for everybody.
There is. As we have in all our good little mountain towns.
Yeah.
Well, any other announcements?
I have one thing. There's a new, the new program, I guess, from that legislation that just got passed. And there's a little spin-off of that that's like, I think it's called RRF, which is, I think it's like Restaurant Relief Fund or something. Has anybody heard of that, about that?
No.
Okay, well,
Nope.
apparently they, if you were in business as a restaurant in 2019, or, the full year of 2019, you can take your proceeds from 2019 and match them up against your proceeds from 2020. And then there's a formula that they use to kind of give you some relief on the amount that you've, the amount of business you lost in that year. So it seems to me, and I don't know how, as usual, these programs, they don't really put them out until after they've opened them up and spent the money, and then the little guys never get any of it. But I happened to hear about it ahead of time, and it's really not going to open up for another week, I think, or two. But I think it'd probably be good if we could somehow get the word out to all our restaurants, to let them know that there's a possibility that you should at least maybe look at the possibility of getting some relief funds. So I don't know the easiest way to do that, because I just got it from an email from the Small Business Administration. So we could forward the email if we had restaurant emails, addresses, or y'all have any suggestion on how to disseminate that information?
George, what do you have? Is it like a link to a website or what?
Yeah.
What information?
It's an email from the SBA, from the Small Business Administration, with links to the RFF and how to apply and all those things. You'd also get on there. They can get on that mailing list, to be kept up to date on the progress of it.
I would think Patty or somebody at the chamber would be able to give you a list of email addresses of their members.
Okay.
And that probably is pretty complete on who the restaurants are.
Okay.
George, is that a grant, a loan, or a credit?
My impression is that it's a grant. So I don't think it's going to be one of those with the hooks on it that the other one had.
Right.
It looked to me, I mean, I just kind of I blew through it a little bit, but because the details are not out yet, because it hadn't officially started, but it looked like it's a grant.
Good.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, I think as Marvin said, going to the chamber would be a good place. They would, not that all the restaurants are members of the chamber, unfortunately, but
Yeah. I'll do that, Marvin. That's a good suggestion. I'll call Patty and then maybe just forward her that email and see if she wants to run with it.
Do we have a similar in Yancey County? I guess they have maybe something similar over there. And then
No, they have a chamber.
and then Mickey at EDC, he may be familiar with some people.
In Main Street.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, those would be good.
Okay.
If you don't mind forwarding it to us, we'll send it out. I guess it wouldn't hurt for them to get it from several people. They'll know that we're pushing on it.
Yeah. I'll forward it. I just forwarded, I guess, to Nelson.
Yeah.
And then let Nelson distribute it to Rotarians, but then I'll also call Patty and also maybe Main Street.
Mhm.
Okay.
Starley.
Hmm?
Starley is that who's at Main Street?
No, that's Libby.
Libby,
Libby,
Tell us.
yeah.
okay.
Yeah, Starley has changed from working with Smoky Ridge Nursing Home over in Yancey County. She's working back with WWAMI, distributing funds for the COVID relief for WWAMI now. Talked to her the other day, so she's busy.
And unfortunately, the vaccinations have just petered out almost totally. It's just, we did not accept any vaccines for this week. Health department did not accept any vaccines for this week. The only ones that are, I mean, we have some, because we didn't accept any because we still have some left over from no-shows from previous events. We're starting to get a pretty high number of no-shows. So we have about 60 doses sitting there now. And so really the only ones that's vaccinating in both counties is Ingalls.
Wow.
They have them and they're continuing to receive them straight from the federal government. They're not having to go through this state. They could, but they don't have to.
So do you know if they're giving very many?
I don't know. All that I heard last week from them is statewide, or at least system-wide for Ingalls, is that they're giving out what they're getting. So he said we're at equilibrium. So they don't have extras and they didn't need any extras. And at that point, they were getting about 20,000 doses, but I can't imagine they're at that level right now.
Yep, we're hearing at the hospital that a lot of people have slowed down. Most people that wanted the vaccine have gotten it.
Yeah.
And a lot of it's the fear of the vaccine that had the 6 people with blood clots. But Dr. Philip Mitchell, had a good point in our board meeting on Monday. He said, when you look at 6 people out of, I think it's over 7 million now, that's just so small. But that there was a nurse in Bakersville that had put on Facebook not to get the vaccine. We don't know where that nurse was from or anything, but they said they had seen it.
She's not from us.
Mm-hmm.
No, she
Had
works.
you heard that?
Oh yeah, the nurse in the Bakersville area that has been posting about her reactions and the supposed neurological. I'm not casting doubt on her. It's just she's not giving proof that she's had neurological. She has neurological type symptoms, and she's been doing a lot of posting. I don't go on Facebook, but I'm hearing a lot about it.
Mm-hmm.
It's a shame because it is scaring a lot of people away.
Mm-hmm.
We're at about 65-70% vaccinated at the clinic, and can't seem to get the rest of them to even consider it. They're very, very frightened.
That's higher than I thought. I wonder what the total percentage is in Mitchell County.
It's, as of yesterday, the report that came out yesterday is 28.5% of the the adults, and that's the percentage of first vaccinations. So yeah, statewide we're at like 37, I think.
Yeah.
And so Mitchell is 28.5 and Yancey is 31. So it's about 30% between the two of them.
And 35 new cases last week.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah,
27 in what, Yancey and
yeah, we had higher positives than we've had in the last month and a half. We had 44 tested on Tuesday and we had 13 positives. So there has, but we just had spring break also. People just came back in for spring break and Easter. So we're expecting that. I think Alex at the hospital, Tanya indicated their COVID population was around 4 or 5. So it's still reasonable. Still, you wish there were none, but it's not, that hadn't spiked yet, at least as of then.
Well, if we don't get a higher percentage of our people vaccinated, it's not going to slow down.
Well, and it's a shame because it's people that are just, in my opinion, they're just uninformed.
well, they're not listening. But I think that wasn't the blood clot scare. That was J&J vaccine, right? We don't have any of those around here, do we?
Yeah, that's what Walmart's
We don't
doing.
have those.
Yeah.
Oh, it
Darla and
is?
Jeff Harding both got J&J at Walmart
Johnson
Yeah,
J. Oh,
about a
okay.
month ago. Yeah.
I didn't realize that. I didn't know we had
There
them.
May
wasn't-
1st.
There wasn't much that came out, but there was a little J&J came out, and it was starting to pick up in availability about the time they did the
Shut
pause.
it down. Yeah.
Gotcha.
How
Chuck,
about
have y'all recorded any side effects or reported any ill effects from the vaccine? All across the board. That's great to
I
hear.
mean, we've had a couple of, we have everybody wait for 15 minutes, and we've had a couple people that have shown like allergy reactions, but it's just nobody's had to go to the hospital. Nobody's even had any treatment. They've just been then watched. They did do an epidural, an EpiPen. I mean, they gave them an EpiPen to reduce the reaction, but that was more of a like an allergy reaction.
Mhm.
But nothing ever has gone to the hospital. No long-term side effects. No.
They're very minuscule compared to the number of immunizations that have been given across the.
Yeah, I mean, that what Alex was talking about, the J&J, the blood clots just naturally occurring. You get about 3, Phil talked about this morning, Dr. Mitchell, just in natural occurrence, you get 3 out of 1 million each year. Just people living will have those clots. And so in this case, we had 6 out of 6 million that showed up because of J&J. And so it's there and you can't deny it, but boy, that's a tiny percentage.
But as you learn, those of you who've done research, correlation does not necessarily mean causation.
Yeah, well put.
How about the severity of it in the hospitals? Is it less severe now, or, I mean, are the people still dying from
I can't speak to that. Good question, George. I haven't heard anybody speak to that one way or the other.
I do know.
People are still dying from it, and,
Yeah.
and we've had some deaths at the hospital, but because of privacy regulations, they can't talk about it.
Yeah, there is a young lady who graduated from high school with my youngest son, which means she's probably 35 or thereabouts, who's been on a ventilator for almost 3 weeks.
Wow.
Locally?
Goodness, that's too bad.
I don't know if she's in the hospital here,
Yeah.
but she's from here.
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
And that was from the COVID or from vaccine?
From COVID.
Yeah.
And the people at Tri-County Builders, the people that own that, they're both very sick with it.
Oh, I didn't know
think
that either.
the wife has been hospitalized, but he hasn't.
I think I wish that we had more people interested, but we're trying to get into the high schools. We think there's some interest in high schoolers. Some high schoolers have shown interest and actually gone to Ingalls and gotten the shot. So we're looking to see if we could, push on that. Obviously, if it's below 18, we've got to get parents' approval. So we'll see what can be done there. The migrant farm workers, they pretty well have, had, most of them have had it that want to have it. So just, now it's a matter of making it convenient. Like when I was in Ingalls last night on the way home, they were announcing it over the radio or over the intercom. Immediately available, come up. Because again, part of our issue is you got 10 doses in a vial. And so once Ingalls opens that vial, they got to get it out that night or they waste it.
All right.
Yeah.
Don't want to throw it away.
I guess that was about 5:30 I was there. So they were probably trying to get it out before they had to waste them that night. but we skipped over, or we haven't touched the happy dollars. Now we're talking about this morbid stuff. Any happy dollars? I've got a happy dollar because as we talked, not everybody was on when we were talking about it, but the CART funds for Judy Carson has raised, and I'll play the drums here. Robin, you want to tell them how much?
$1,275.
Wow,
Oh,
that's great.
That's awesome. I'm gonna go ahead and send him a note this week. And just, tell him the total amount and the names of people that contributed. It's quite a large number from the club, and then a couple of former members too, so.
Quite a nice tribute, and make sure that you put O'Neill Shelton on there.
Yeah,
He's gonna, I don't know how much, but he will donate. So if you
Yeah.
put him on that list.
yeah, I'm not gonna put the amounts by each person's name. I'll just put all the names and the total,
Yeah.
because it varies.
I've got a happy dollar, Chuck, for our Mitchell Mountaineers. They go tomorrow to Robbinsville to play
Awesome.
in the playoffs, and there's a chance if they, from those that know, if we can beat Robbinsville, we can
They
take
can
the
beat
state.
anybody.
So that's really, really awesome. We've been close many years recently, but this could be it for our high school football team.
Wonderful.
State championship always goes through Robbinsville.
Does it?
There's no telling how many they have. And they're tiny. They're much
Yeah,
smaller
they're
than we
tough.
are,
Huh.
or they used to be anyway.
Yeah. Tiny but tough, obviously.
Yeah.
Wow. Good tradition.
Mhm.
That's tomorrow night at Robbinsville, so that makes it tougher. Okay. I guess people are caravanning over there, and I'm
Yeah,
sure.
they only had 400 tickets for Mitchell fans, so I guess we'll be on the radio.
Yeah. Any other happy dollars? Well, we got some wheel spinning to do then.
We do.
We missed you last week, Alex, because Robin was doing the numbers, but she wasn't making the spinning sound.
Oh, well, she can make
Just-
that sound.
Yeah, I
She needs
used
to practice.
the random number generator on my phone.
You can practice.
We didn't get that clickety click. That's and
That's
anticipate
right.
who the winner is.
Oh, and I failed to mention too, let's remember that Arch Woodard's grandson is the kicker for that team, and he's a very, very good kicker.
Very good.
Excellent.
I've got
Okay,
a
I'm ready.
nephew on the,
Go
I've got a
ahead.
nephew on the team too, Alex.
Awesome.
Chandler Horney, he's on the
Oh.
line.
Great. Good. Yeah, they've
Yeah,
got.
they
some
call
good
his name a
players.
lot for the line, on the radio anyway, because we just listen.
Okay, are we ready? Robin?
Yeah.
Okay.
We are ready.
Can y'all hear the noise?
Yes.
Okay. Number 8.
Number 8 is Nelson.
Ah,
what a deal.
You win $8, Nelson.
Now, was
Hey,
that for last week?
Throw it
Or
in the
you did
cart.
last week?
yeah, we
Yeah,
did last.
Alex, you won last week and we put it in cart.
Okay.
I'm gonna do the same.
Okay.
All right. Well, anything else for the meeting, for the program? Alex is teasing us with our earthquake stories.
Yeah, that's in 2 weeks. We need to, Nelson, if you'll put that in your newsletter
In 2 weeks.
in 2 weeks, yeah.
Yeah.
That's the May 6th one, yeah.
That's when we meet at the church, and
Yeah.
I guess the church still has our audio visual stuff, and all the things we had in the closet are still there.
I
Yes,
guess.
actually, we had a vaccine event there Friday, and I looked in the closet, and yes. Now, they've asked for us to go through and look at it and see if there's anything we can dispose of to give them a little bit more space. And we'll do that on the 7th or 6th when we go in for the meeting. But no, everything seems to still be there.
So, do we have a program for next week? Or does anybody know?
I don't know.
Yeah, I haven't talked to Tina.
Yeah,
Yeah, with Tina's kind of missing in action, so it'd be, I think we'd have a little better attendance at the meeting if we had a program. So I'd like to, I'll get in touch with her and see what we can do.
Okay.
I've got a couple of barbecue comments. Can I do it now, Chuck?
yeah, Floyd didn't show up, did he? So yes, please.
No. Okay. If anybody read the paper this week, you noticed that there is a, Back in Time or whatever the name of that is, festival that Billy Summerlin does every year. It's in October. So it made me think that we need to probably get something in the paper, not necessarily with any details, but at least to let people know that it's coming in, we're going to do one this year. So I wrote a little press release, only I'm calling it Save the Date instead of a press release, and just Marvin, you want me to send it to you because you'll be president when this is going on, and let you look at it and see what you think of it. And then I'm going to send it to the paper and see if they'll put it into their announcements, and also send it to Patty and see if they can get it in the chamber calendar. So otherwise it's like we're not going to do it. So we need to get something out there.
Yeah.
I'll be glad to look at
Everybody-
it, but I think that
Okay.
Floyd would be the person to approve it, really.
Oh, yeah, I do. I'll send it to Floyd too. That's a given. So, but I just thought maybe you might be interested in seeing it too, seeing as how it's going to be in your year. Okay. And the other thing is, George had sent me I finally got a hold of that guy, George, with that Drifters band.
Mhm.
And they're busy. They're not going to be able to play. I have reached out to one group that's not bluegrass. And if any of you ever go to City Drive-In, there's a group called Rodney Danger. Oh, I think it's Pierce Danger, actually. And it's Mindy Thomas's husband. And she was so excited that we gave her money for being a hair salon, that her husband would probably agree to play. They're not bluegrass, but they're not rapping hard rock and roll, but they're good and everybody seems to like them. So that may be one strong potential that we have. That's the only one I have so far. I did take a long shot and reached out to Barry Stagg, which I figured he'd say no, but he did say no because he does not do any local performances. He and Barb have got the dispensary. But he did say, as much as he loves Rotary and likes the nonprofit, he would be willing to let us do something at the dispensary if we ever wanted to do another fundraiser, and he would play. So if that would be something that might be sort of cool, some other time, but at least he did offer up, but he was very apologetic and said he just doesn't do local stuff like that. So, I get that, but that was sort of a nice option if we ever decided to do, I don't know, if you do
You
like
could just have a
bring your
Rotary
own
night.
food or
just have a Rotary night
and invite people.
Yeah.
So I
they're
thought that
just
would be pretty
starting
cool
to
because
open
he is
back up.
really, he
Really
is
good.
really good. If anybody ever liked
Really
Kenny
good.
Rogers, he is Kenny Rogers over again. He's just really, really good. Pretty instrumental in trying to get the theater opened up again. So he's a pretty cool guy. So anyway, those are my two comments. And I thought maybe if anybody had any music ideas, I'm just sort of lost. I don't have,
Have you
I
talked
don't
to?
know people.
Yeah. Have you talked to Jody Lovelace?
I did. Actually, I did. Thank you. Jody's checking with
Okay.
Mark to see if they can do that. It's not a lot of money, but then I try to tell them, that it's a,
It's
fundraiser, blah, blah, blah. And he and I have a standing thing going. I am not a Willie Nelson fan. So I told him if he would come and play, I'll listen to Willie Nelson all night long, if that's what he play. So he thought that was pretty funny. So hopefully we'll get them. But I have asked them. And this, like I said, Pierce Danger. Again, it's not bluegrass, but they're good. I've heard them.
Yeah, I've heard
So
them.
anyway, I've only got two. I need 5.
Cindy, have you checked with the band, and I can't remember their name, but the one that does the popular car festival, the Push Rods Festival, they are outstanding. I don't know if you could.
I
get
don't
Know who they are.
Who do you get in touch with for the Poplar Car Festival? I don't know those people.
Rick
the
Hughes.
Who?
Hughes.
Rick Hughes. You know, Rhonda Phillips?
The realtor?
Yeah, it's her brother.
And no, I don't. I just know the
Um,
name, but no, I don't know those people at all.
Brooks knows him. I'll see if I can find out who it
Yeah,
is.
Yeah, if you can just, get me a phone number or an email or something, I don't care a bit to reach out, but I don't want to wait too much longer because if people are already getting their festivals planned
Yeah,
and Billy put something in whoever wrote that press release was pretty quick to say that there's no charge. So, we always get beat up because we charge for these things. So we need to start getting some positive stuff out there. So that was my point. You don't want to wait till June or July and say, oh, we're going to do a festival. So if
Right.
everybody's starting to put something out in October, I think we need to jump on that. So anyway.
Cindy, I don't know if it's how appropriate the genre is, but Grant Sparks plays and his brother joins him sometimes too.
Yeah, Grant and Craig.
yeah.
And then there's
Craig and yeah, that's an idea.
Grant's
and then
good. He would.
the bank in Bakersville, UCB, they do their customer appreciation day, and they have a local group. It might be the same one, Alex, that plays out at the car festival, but I'll ask Maggie at the bank and see if she can give me the name of the folks there.
That'd be great. I don't know anybody to call. That's sort of out of my wheelbox. So
This group plays, I imagine it's like your danger group that you're talking about. They play the 60s easy listening, just,
right.
we grew up on.
Well, and what I did, the very first line of this save the date thing says Spruce Pine Rotary Club is organizing our 9th barbecue and music festival. So I sort of took out bluegrass just because I didn't want everybody to think they're going to just get that. So I took it out, but I know our website says it, so that's fine too. So
There's also True Blue, Cindy, that they played the last few years for us. And
okay.
they do bluegrass, and they also do, other stuff.
I think I remember that name. The ones I've contacted have all been what I just said. So I can, but I didn't even think about Grant and Craig Sparks. That's
They're definitely not bluegrass, but Grant.
No, they're not.
Really good.
But yes, he is.
Good.
He's very good.
They're good.
That's a good idea. Okay, I would just trying to find somebody different and somebody new to make it just sound different. So anyway, okay, I'll work on that, but I'll send the press release to you, Marvin, and of course I would always send it to Floyd. So anybody else want to look at it? I'll do that too. Chuck, are you interested?
I don't think we can improve over your copy editing skills.
Yeah, that's not necessarily true, but I don't want to get anything wrong. So
Cindy, I was going to ask you too, when you mentioned the paper, why doesn't Corey come? Is the newspaper a member? We've had every editor of the paper a member for many, many years, and Corey has never been.
Yeah, they haven't paid their dues either.
Oh, they haven't?
No.
Oh,
they have not.
Rachel would probably be upset about that. Do you send the bill to Rachel, or where does that go?
No, it just goes to editor at Mitchell, whatever.
Yeah, see, Corey's not even sending it to her. Rachel, we had a conversation about this when Corey started, is that Rachel, they would always be a member of Rotary. She's been a Rotarian forever and a president and all that good stuff. So she understands Rotary. So she just doesn't even know, and Corey's not paying any attention.
Well, and Corey's missing a lot of stuff, not attending, a lot of local information, not attending. Somebody needs to whisper in Rachel's ear.
I can whisper good.
Okay.
I've got a line.
You have a direct line, don't you?
I'll do that. How much, can you tell me how much he owes? Robin, I mean, Rachel will
can't-
take care of that in
well,
a heartbeat.
When I'm recording this, I can't minimize the screen to get in there.
Oh, that's fine. Just
But
send
I'll-
it,
I'll
just
look
send it
it
to
up.
me.
I'll look it up.
Okay, all right. That's good. Okay,
And it's not that
Thank
much
you.
because we've not been paying for meals for over a year.
right.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly. Because I asked her once, she and I had lunch together not too terribly long ago, and I asked, what about, Rotary? And she says, oh, no, he needs to go to those. And I said, okay. And I've talked to him about it. I've told him he needs to come. It's not that big of a deal, but of course, now they're down a reporter and they haven't seemed to replace that yet. So I'm sure he's crazy busy also,
Yeah. Probably so.
but still, okay. I'll pass that on.
All right, very good. Thank you, Cindy. I'm sorry we skipped over that earlier, but
Oh, that's okay. I just wanted to get some clarification on that.
yeah. All right, anything else? All right. Well, we can do the ace of spades.
Don't we have to pull Ace of Spades from last week?
We have, yes, we drew Nelson's name last week, so he needs to pick a card this week.
Well, that Nelson's replacing Calvin, isn't he?
There you go. All right, Alex, just take the deck and split it in half and that's the card.
All right.
And then we'll draw for this week.
Can you see the cards?
Yep,
Yes.
whatever you
Get
got,
them
just,
right together. You can tell I'm a really
I'll be
professional
mixing these
shuffler.
up. Oh,
All right,
the
I'm
numbers are
splitting
all
half.
upside down.
Is
split
that
in
the
half.
card?
That's our card, yep.
Ooh,
Ooh, not a winner.
No ace.
Okay, we're doing it again.
Yeah, I gotta draw out the number. Wait, these are tangled up. I've been sitting here shuffling them. They're getting worn out, so it's a good thing we're going back to in person. Number 5 is Tina, and she's not here. Somebody want to pick for her?
I will. I'll pick 4.
Okay.
Okay, here we go, Cindy. Tell me when to
All right.
stop.
I'm looking. Okay, stop. Oh,
No,
no cigar.
No ace. Okay.
no cigar. Well, we'll adjourn this again next week and Marvin, did you say you were reaching out to Tina about the program?
Yeah, I'd love for us to have a program on these things. I think it would, if we could have Nelson send that out, we're gonna have a program on X, then that would probably get more people to respond, I hope.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not, they don't have spring fever today. That's not a good excuse for not being here.
No, it's cold.
I didn't think I was gonna be bringing this thing back out this year, but it feels good today.
Yeah, I had to put mine on. I was cold even in the house. It's the same temperature. It's just a mental thing.
It is. Well, why don't we close with the 408 test of the things we think, say, and do? Is it the
Is it the
truth?
Truth? Is it fair to all concerned?
Will it
Will it
build
build
Goodwill and better friendship?
friendships?
and will it be
Will it be beneficial to all concerned?
Okay.
Kind of be
Bye.
nice when we get that bell that we can ring again, I guess.
Yeah.
Guys, stay tuned. See you next week. Stay warm.
Okay.
Bye.
See ya. Bye.